miracle is a great routine and can help improve many aspects. It assists in boosting spirituality through meditation and prayer, is what she says. She also says that this will help to stick to the goals. She will assist us as the timer for this meeting. Over to Toastmaster Aishwarya to explain her roles and her reports.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. My role as a timer is to keep time for all the speakers to ensure that everyone speaks within their allotted time slot. To help me do this, I have 3 colored Zoom background images with me. So for a 5 to 7 minute prepared speech, I'll show the green image at the 5th minute, the yellow image on the 6th minute, and the red image on 7th minute. For a 3 to 4 minute prepared speech, I'll show the green image at the 3rd minute and the yellow image on the 3rd minute, 3 minute 30 seconds, and the red image on 4th minute. Table topic speeches are for 1 to 2 minutes. I'll show the green image at 1 minute, the yellow image at 1.5 minutes, and the red image at 2 minutes. Speech evaluations are for 2 to 3 minutes. I'll show the green image at 2 minutes, the yellow image at 2.5 minutes, and the red image at 3 minutes. The speaker will have 30 seconds grace period after 2 minutes to wrap up his or her speech. And finally, I'll present my report when called upon by the General Evaluator. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Mine is 4 to 6 minutes.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So just keep a note. It's 4 to 6 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aishwarya, for this report. Now we have Toastmaster Dinesh Shekhar, who will now present to us about the R counter. Toastmaster Dinesh Shekhar works for a consumer company at Chennai. He likes Toastmasters because he says like-minded people come together to improve their communication and leadership skills. Toastmaster Dinesh Shankar will assist us as the R counter. Over to Toastmaster Dinesh to explain his role and reports.
Thank you, General Evaluator ETM Jacob. A very good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of R counter is to note words and sounds that are used as crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler words including and I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase, such as I, this means, this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times each speaker used these expressions. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh Shekhar, for the explanation of the R counter, which is quite a difficult one. Medlayans, I must now introduce to you Toastmaster Venkatesheshan. Toastmaster Venkatesheshan is a business development manager by profession and a learning enthusiast by passion. According to him, mornings are not only magical, but can make miracles too. Don't you believe it? That's what he says. And he also recommends read and join the 5 a.m. club. Toastmaster Venkatesheshan will assist us as the grammarian for this meeting. Over to Toastmaster Venkatesheshan to explain his role and reports.
Thanks, G. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a grammarian, my role today is to pay close attention to speeches by prepared speakers, evaluators, and TT speakers. I will listen carefully and note outstanding vocabulary, quotes, or thoughts, and also improper usage of words or phrases or any grammatical mistakes. It is also my responsibility to introduce word of the day. Word of the day, today's word of the day is seclude. seclude. The meaning of the verb is isolate or insulate. Example, he secluded himself in his room to study for the exam. It can be used as adjective as well. Secluded. He felt secluded when he refuged to India from Afghan after riots and crisis. So I request and encourage all the participants, speakers, guests to use this word, seclude, and also theme of the day in their speech, who will be rewarded accordingly during my grammarian report at the end of the meeting when G calls me upon. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkateshan, for the wonderful word of the day that you selected. I would now call upon the Toastmaster of the day. Over to you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank you, Dean. Now we come to the main part of Toastmaster meeting, namely three preferred speech session today. We got the three best preferred speeches. Now I first speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Sundaresan. I request you the evaluator of first read project and the speech purpose of the statement. Toastmaster Sundaresan.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. The first speaker, Toastmaster Thomas, is going to deliver a speech under Level 1, Project 3, project name Research and Presentation, with speech title, The Battle with the Beard is also a battle with the beard. Time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes. Good wishes to Speaker Toastmaster Thomas. Over to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sundaresan. The speaker, DTM Thomas Abroy, is a best communicator from early teens and a dearest man from my early teens. The Medley from the 2015. DTM Thomas Abraham said that opening of the miracle. He said the day my pre-degree result came out, after they changed the mathematics question, paper style, I all had doubt about passing. As expected, I do not find my roll number in the pass of class list. My cousin ran through the second class list, and miracle of miracle, there was my roll number in a class 90 that passed, including myself in a second class. It is a miracle of morning. His speech is part engaging a familiar level 1 project, level 1 project 3, and the battle with the beard is also battle with the beard. Speech with the title, battle with the beard, also battle with the beard. Please join me in inviting the speaker, deliver his speech, Toastmaster Thomas Abraham.
The history of beard is as long as the human race. Who was the first bearded man? Adam, husband of Eve. No, Adam's beard was not ordered by Eve, nor was it Adam's idea. The decision was thrust on him. You see, what happened was the Garden of Eden had everything, but God forgot one thing. He didn't have a contract with Gilead then. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you realize all cavemen were bearded, because the only sharp stones in the cave home had to be reserved to fight the grizzly bear rather than the itchy beard, because they cared for the length of their life a lot more than they cared for the length of their beard. Then one caveman created history. His name was Homo Cavo. There was a sudden lockdown, long one. Apparently some blood drinking locusts were all over, so everybody had to be inside. Homo was getting bored. He was scratching his beard. Then suddenly one hair got stuck in his broken nail. The nail hurt. Ooh, it hurt so much. Homo got angry. He plucked that wicked hair. No, the hair won't come out. Then with all his strength, he plucked, and hooray, the hair came out. Letting out a triumphant shout, ha ha ha, he called his children. Some of them turned up. He employed 9 of them to pluck his facial hairs. Ouch, 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 ouch. By late evening, Homo had a clean male face. Women's movements celebrated Homo as a champion of gender equality. Hooray. But then the meaning of the beard changed over centuries. In ancient Greece, philosophers wore beards. In ancient Egypt, queens wore false beards and mustaches. Sense of power. The trouble was when the elastic broke, there were awkward situations. They had to fit it back again. Mid-19th century, clean-shaven was an act of rebellion. You might remember the picture of Oscar Wilde, as fair as a lady. Then by 1920s, beard meant rebellion again. And later, hippies made it part of the counter-culture symbol. Meanwhile, a word on razors. Remember the cutthroat razor? It was very effective, like a guillotine. Then in 1855 came the T-shaped, and in 1895, Gillette's disposable razor blades. Terrific technological improvement. Now, let me answer some very regular questions. 1. Why beard? Why beard? 3 good reasons. First of all, it shows you who you are. Visualize Karl Marx without his beard, or Virat Kohli without his. Visualize a beard on Sri Mohanchand Karamchand Gandhi. Anachronistic, right? Einstein had a scientist's hairstyle, with atoms flying all over. But imagine if he had a matching beard, where he would have reached, where the world would have reached. Also imagine the flowing white beard showing wisdom and poetry on Rabindranath Tagore. They're all made for each other. Secondly, a beard transforms you from the ordinary. Here is one proof. Also, don't forget our more powerful beard you see this morning, today when the meeting started, the Sergeant at Arms. Kudos. Thirdly, beard saves time. At 10 minutes a day, 600 minutes a year, that's 2.5 days. And in a 50 years of bearded life, that's 4 bonus months. Such a lot you can do with it, right? Question 2, how to start a beard? Simple, do nothing. Don't shave for a month. And then watch what the gardener does by trimming the hedge. You will get ideas. Question number 3, what if hair doesn't grow in some part? Simple, grow more hair on the top. That's called compensatory crop diversification. But more seriously, there's another way. See, you can choose the right beard. Try mustache, or a French beard, or a goatee, or sideburns. There are over 50-60 options, including mutton chop, painter's brush, ducktail, zampa, Fu Manchu. Add our own Veerappan. See, friends, beardsmen are an exclusive community with rituals and incomprehensible terminologies like our own Toastmasters. Just like the Toastmasters, beardsmen have their conventions. The annual convention that's running now, just like the Toastmasters, beardsmen have their competitions. And just like the Toastmasters, they show off their prepared speeches in 2 categories. You know it, right? ISC and TTE. The beardsmen show off their thoroughly prepared assets, namely beards and mustaches, competing for the World Championship. Friends, don't forget from experience, a beard is a challenge. To maintain a beard is greater challenge than maintaining a dog. You need to wash and shampoo gently pat and wipe with dry hair, then a conditioner, oils, balm. Oh my God. Then don't forget the white tooth comb to brush to remove the tangles. Do it all. Your dog would love you. Oh, your beard. Do the same to your beard. You will feel the same. You will feel like a pampered dog. In the nearly 4 billion USD facial hair care industry, the #1 Indian player is the Man Company. Could he have been called anything else? No chance. Let me now end by paying a hair-raising tribute to a dozen plus Medlians for battling people's attitude by spotting a beard, or at least its junior, called a mustache. In the process, they battle, my friends, Chennai's summer, the itch, the tangles, the knot. They battle the beard itself. Bravo, sportsman. Over to you.
Well explained about a beard, sir. Now I am feeling I am not having the beard. Now just moved on the second evaluator. The second speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Adishek. I request the evaluator to read the project and the speech purpose of the statement. Toastmaster Adishek.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. My target speaker today is Toastmaster Raghunath Mishra, who will be delivering his icebreaker speech. The purpose of his speech is for the speaker to introduce themselves to the club and to learn the basic structure of public speech. The speech will be 4 to 6 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Best wishes to my target speaker.
Sorry, Atisha, it is not my icebreaker speech. It's my level 3 project 1 acceptance speech.
Yeah.
Time is 3 to 4 minutes.
Noted. Thank you, Adishek. The speaker Raghunath Mishra is a getter type person who loves travel and spending time with the family. He thought about the miracle of morning, sipping tea near the beachside, watching the rising of the sun. He is thinking about the miracle of morning. The speech is part innovative planning level 3 project 1 speech with the topic heading name "Little 50 years and still counting." 15 years and still counting. Please join me inviting the speaker deliver his speech. Toastmaster Raghunath Mishra.
नाक बहती है. The nose is flowing. When this was the level of my communication, my friend suggested me to switch the organizations every 3 years at least once. Good afternoon, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. It was 3rd of April 2006 when I joined Flex with a target of 2 years. And I didn't realize that this 2 years would last so long, still counting. In the initial years of my career, where I was trying to prove my credibility for the organization, the company recognized me with this watch, a good one, for the 3 years of my service. And when I said this to my friend said, "Dude, this is the first warning they have given to you. Start looking outside." With my fear of for interview and the current job satisfaction challenges which provoked me to continue in the organization for next 2 years. And my company again rewarded me with another watch, a bigger one, good one also, with a tagline, "Long Service Award." And I shared this information to my friend again. And he said, "Dude, in this company, no one works more than for 5 years. This company has given you this watch, and this is the ultimate warning the company has given. Start looking outside." Time flies. I started improving a little bit in my communication. I started enjoying the job profile. My manager also encouraged me to take works in different domains like warehousing, supply chain, inventory management. With the travel, visibility, promotion, I didn't realize when I have completed next 5 years. And this time there was a red carpet for me from the company. They greeted me with a bouquet, a big hoard with my photo, mentioned 10 years of service. Of course, there were few other employees, very few. I was feeling proud. And when I contacted my friend, dude, this is what the company has done to me. He said, it was a different voice. In fact, that time, he said, dude, you have done the right thing. You didn't listen to me. You have a job. You have experience. You have money. And most importantly, you have your family with you. I was overwhelmed. With every passing year, the responsibility increased, and the company given me a lot of challenges, and I didn't know how when this 15 years I am going to complete, and the company is going to recognize me for this 15 years of award, 15 years of my service. I couldn't expect anything else, anything much else, anywhere else. Thanks to my leaders who trusted me to entrust this responsibility. So Medleyans, I learned switching the job is not the right thing for a career growth, rather than working or serving with honesty and sincerity. What do you think? I also learned running nose is the right phrase for naak behti hai. Over to you, TM Modi. Thank you.
Well done, Toastmaster Raghunath Mishra. If the job switchover compared to the Japanese or the Japanese people, maximum 1 or 2 times only job quit or changes in their life. If only India only switch over the below 30 or 35, don't move to 10 or 15 companies. Right now, Indian people only moved actually. Next, I have to the third speaker, evaluator. The third speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Surya. I request you, the evaluator, to read the project of speech purpose of statement. Toastmaster Surya.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Thank you, Toastmaster Karthikeyan. Toastmaster Raghunath is attempting his project number 1, icebreaker speech, in the part engaging with humor. The purpose of this project is for him as a member to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of public speech. Time is 4 to 6 minutes. Timer, please note it. All the best, Toastmaster Raghunath. Over to you, TM Modi.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Surya. The speaker, Toastmaster Raghunath Nair, he is a senior manager of Nissan Car Company. He says that about the miracle of morning. Miracle is when each day I know I am still breathing along with all close ones are safe. He is the opinion of the miracle morning. The speech part engaging a humor, level 1, project 1 speech with the title Bold is the New Black. Bold is the New Black. Please join me inviting the speaker to deliver his speech. Toastmaster Raghunath Nair.
How many of you had a crush during your high school days and eventually decided to keep it as a platonic? Please raise your hand. I've kept it in the gallery mode so you can see how many of you. Wow, only a very few. Is it because of being at home due to this online meeting? Maybe you can share your experience next time when I see you. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, a very warm good afternoon. It was not just one for me. I had a few at Chinmaya Vidyalaya, where I studied. And one of the serious one was with a girl who used to help me with the Hindi notes. language has always been my scariest subjects. And every time I garner all my strength to go and propose to her during a break or sometimes the lunchtime, my friend Jay always reminds me of my receding hairlines from the two sides that I had at that particular time. He too had a receding hairline like mine. That is why we were best friends. Finally, I decided to keep it platonic. What a relief. While at college in Palakkad, the best way to cover up the receding hairlines was to take up some serious subjects. So I went and took physics as the main, so that you are reflected as a studious guy, with all the receding hairlines. But because of this studious look, the student union that I was affiliated decided to put me as a candidate for the college union election. And to my surprise, I got elected. And I had an investigation of what made. You know what? I got most of the girls' votes from the pre-degree students. They must have felt safe, a big brotherly look with the receding hairline. There are two types of baldness. One with the receding hairline like me, where it starts losing from the forehead, like catch me if you can type. And the other is like the male pattern balding, which most of the men have, where you bald from the back of your head. I always have wondered why I didn't get that one, because it looked so cool, to create that first impression, you have a good hair. Receding hairline is really upsetting, because every time someone sees, nobody says hi anymore. It's always like, hey, Raghu, you've lost hair. And nowadays it has changed. Hey, Raghu, you have changed a lot. During my advertising period of the career, whenever we gather in that idea room after around 7, 8 p.m., I start sitting in these low-lying areas. Usually because every time a creative idea comes out of the CD's head, my head becomes like a drum. Like for him to do like this. It's so easy. And it made sound, It's not just girls who get pressure of getting married. I too went through from the age of 23. My mom, every time when she says goodbye to me, becomes silent for a minute and the eyes obviously landing at my head. If you start losing your hair this fast, no girl will marry you. As if like receding hairline is my fault. And I always get scared when my papa offers me a drink. At the second peck, his hand will start strolling through his hair slowly. I'm almost twice your age. I still have more hair than you. And finally, my papa and mama decided to go for a longer vacation from Dubai. That day, my mom looked very relaxed. While bidding goodbye to my office, suddenly I was feeling surprised. There came the answer. And she said, I've called your photographer friend Suresh to take some snaps of you. She felt that his experience of clicking those beautiful pictures that he takes for our campaigns, he would be able to hide my receding hairline. Those pictures that they share for these proposals. I was confident that this receding hairline would come to my advantage in postponing my marriage. But even your close buddies become a challenge. Since they have all got married, now they want to know why I'm not getting married. One even has started asking, I hope you have not started having a different inclination, are you? So the same friend who never had an issue a year before partying with me. So after a few weeks, my parents reached and I got a call suddenly, come over urgently. With all excuses I tried possibly, I had to land up there for 2 weeks. I was very candid. I was not going to have so many coffees and teas, in that proposal time. The first one, I say yes, and if she says no, no more such drama. But to my surprise, I got a yes from my wife, Jaya. The reason is still a surprise to me. At my work now in Nissan, I'm always called by name with the prefix san. It is a Japanese equivalent word to G. And later, I was always surprised. And later I realized that it is the receding hairlines that helped me to get away that the experience. But my two daughters, till a few years back, felt that I was born like this. A few days back, I asked them, see, I'm going to do a surgery. And after some time, I'll have some hair like the one I have in my sides. United, they said, no. It seems I look bold in this look. Bold is the new black. Oh, sorry. Bald is the new black. And I'm here in Toastmasters like Sunil, where I don't need to be secluded to show my receding hairlines and look into some of the future things. So, bald is the new black. Over to you, dear.
Thank you. Well done, Toastmaster Raghunath Nair. May I request to timer to name of qualified speaker?
All are qualified, Toastmaster. TMOD
Okay.
Karthikeyan, yeah.
Okay. And the request to voting panel will come after DTM Guru Prasad's speech. Now I will start next week. Today we got a special session, no laughing time. I have the pleasure called upon DTM Guru Prasad for the training session for no laughing time. I will tell you about the DTM Guru Prasad now. Contributed glove of VPM, President Area Governor, District Governor, First District TLA Chair, 40% of humorous speech, contest 5 times, Mr. Other time due to travel, won, district run-up once, division winner once, and area participant once, lost twice at the club level, once a fresher and once due to overconfidence. Evaluation contest, 40% 3 times, division winner once, and the participated in district final, division final twice. Also delivered a humorous speech at many clubs on invite. Entered a good number of Toastmaster humorous speech and made them go up to the district final. Please join me. Welcome our education module president DTM Guru Prasad.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day. I hope you are all able to see me, watch me, as well as see my backgrounds. Because as usual, I'm going to use my backgrounds for explaining some of the certain points. Are you able to see me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Well, we had 2 weeks of pre-meeting sessions where we discussed about, in general, about preparing a speech, getting ready, using the power of 4. I used an acronym called Power of 4, where plan, prepare, practice, and perform. Through that, we went through how any speech you can, from the thought process till delivery, what are the various steps you go through and how to make it as a winning speech. Today, the focus is more on humorous speech. It's very specific about preparing or presenting a humorous speech and then winning in a humorous speech contest. As I used to repeatedly say, please always go with the motive of winning. You are participating to win, not just for the sake of an experience. That would change your pattern completely. However, participating in humorous speech, yeah. You all agree that human beings are the only living species who know how to laugh. And it's very, very easy and simple for every one of us to laugh. At the same time, remember, it's a bit difficult to make others laugh. I hope you agree. And it's more difficult to teach someone how to make others laugh. Further more difficult is sitting here like this, listening to me, teaching you how to make others laugh. So I really appreciate your participation. And friends, that's why I call it as humor. It's no laughing matter. I'm sorry about the typo in the agenda. It's not laughing time. It's no laughing matter. Though we call humor as a part of laughter, preparing humor is not a laughing matter. Let us try to understand some salient features of humor. Disclaimer, I am not an authority of humor. In spite of saying all these things, I crack a joke, you may end up not laughing at me at all. That shows some of the weaknesses in me or in my delivery, about which we are going to see. My context experience, in the introduction, I had intentionally mentioned that I lost twice. My first ever contest, humorous speech contest. Fantastic. People laughed throughout my speech. My name was not even uttered during the tea time, forget about the winners list. Then I contacted my mentor who very later I came to know that who had got some information from the judges panel as well on what happened. Everybody enjoyed my speech, but my speech was full of jokes. It was just a string of various jokes. I had given some title. I was just delivering jokes. He said, Guru, humorous speech is not string of jokes. It is giving a speech with maximum humor embedded on it. That's a lot of difference. Cracking a string of humorous jokes, it's done by a stand-up comedian. He or she just does it to make you laugh. Don't think nothing. Here we are giving a speech and we are learning how to embed humor subtly into it or sometimes forcibly into it so that the audience are able to connect and enjoy our delivery. So that is point number one. You deliver a speech with humor in it. You never deliver a humorous speech. There is nothing called as a humorous speech. Then we need to identify what is that humor? How can I embed humor into my speech? What are the elements of a humor that I can choose and make use of in my speech? So you see them here. Due to some reason, you are not seeing, you are seeing everything. So there are some elements that I identified while practicing, while consulting with my mentors, while experimenting and while winning. I identified these are some of the elements that you see here that helped me in creating a humorous speech. Is my finger showing right? Yeah. Let's go step by step. Give one or two examples. My intention in this session is not to make you laugh, just make you understand what are the elements that I used to apply whenever I try to make someone laugh. Let us begin by the first ever thing called It's Me. You know this guy. Most of the Tamil movie watchers know this guy without fail. He's Vadimelu, the most successful comedian after Nagesh, with due respect to all others. Primary reason, if you had observed, is most of his comedy scenes would be making fun of himself. It's called, in a very polite language, it's called as self-deprecation. So he makes fun of his own self and it becomes a funny incident. This is a major factor in making your speech more and more humorous, particularly with respect to humorous speech contest. So I was there during my first ever election experience. I became eligible to vote. I went to the polling booth well early in the morning with all that slip given to me. I entered in and the staff over there said, stop, you cannot enter inside. I became so angry. How can you stop me? I am here to exercise my franchise, my fundamental duty as a citizen of India as assigned to me by the constitution of our nation. How can you stop me? He just looked at me and said, well, sir, I really respect your patriotism, but this is the school's office room. Polling booth is over there. You may go and vote there. That was one silly experience. It did not exactly happen this way. I was about to enter and saw its office room. Then I went to the polling booth. But imagine converting this into a laughter. I don't know because I'm not able to see your reaction here. I'm more focusing on myself. I hope at least you would have smiled at heart by listening to this, though not openly. This is a kind of self-humor you create, self-deprecation you create to make people laugh. This is one of the key elements. Most of the winning humorous speeches, if you had seen, they are all out of self-deprecation. Some people have won over general topics. However, majority is by self-deprecation. Of course, I would be glad to share my winning speech's YouTube video at some time. Excuse me. You will be able to see how the speech was built, crafted. I'm going to take one slide to explain how my speech was built and crafted. The next one is, we call it as too much. something you do totally unbelievable, completely unbelievable. That becomes humor. A normal event, you would have observed, a very normal event, and that becomes a completely unbelievable event, becomes a joke over here. It was in my first ever flight experience. I'm quoting most of them from my humorous speeches only. My first ever flight experience, I went inside the restroom inside the flight. So I used the restroom, obviously. Then I looked down for how to flush, and there was a small button called flush. Most of you who have flown would know. I just pressed that button. You know how the flush system works inside the aeroplane. I was scared for a moment because it produced such a huge noise, because the whole thing works using a vacuum air blow. I was so scared, but somehow I came out. Then I thought about it when I gave a speech about my first ever flight experience. I said, the moment I pressed the button, there was a huge explosive noise called shoop and all. I got so scared. I thought the plane has crashed. I was trying to run out. I was already naked. I could not come out. I applied all the body language, all that stuff. That became a roaring laughter with the audience. And one of them told me that one joke was very key one in taking me up to the district finals. So then you exaggerate something that happened. Everyone knows about it. You identify an exaggerated view of delivering that incident, that becomes a joke. So that's why I call it as too much. So I'm going to give you some exercise at the end of this, how to make your speech into a funny one. So make note of this. I'll still keep the first slide open at the end. So moving on to another element is, we call it as a climax. This is a funny story. This guy was sitting in the 27th floor of the building, and somebody opened the door and, hey, Sanjeev, your daughter committed suicide. Oh my God, daughter committed suicide. He opened the window and jumped out. So he was jumping from 27th floor, around 25th floor. He understood, I never had a daughter in my life. I have a daughter in my life. Then after reaching 15th or 12th floor, here I say, my God, I never got married. Finally, before the third happened, he said, Arey Baba, I am not even Sanjeev. Then, of course, you don't tell the rest. So this is called as a climax joke, that you build the climax of a joke stage by stage, and finally when you make the event happen, the audience will be roaring in laughter. You never allow them to stop their laughter. That's called as a climax joke. You build a story up to a level and suddenly you blast. This is one variety of humor that you can think of. Take a small situation, build it up, and see how it can be converted into a joke. Then we have something called as recreation. You take up some event and slightly convert it. In fact, I was wondering that I am in a closed room today during the meeting, and my wife was not intervening and watching it. Otherwise, she would have decided never to invite distinguished Toastmaster Thomas Abraham to our house ever in our lifetime, because she hates beards like anything. And she was seeing DTM Thomas eulogizing my beard. So this is one small technique. I just made use of something that happened and recreated from that speech, created a new comedy. If you are speaker number 4 or 5 or 6, something like that, you may choose to pick 1 or 2 strings from the previous speeches and do it. But however, you should be time cautious. If you get overexcited, you lose your time. And that's how one of my semi-finalist contestant, who's a great stand-up comedy now in Bangalore, he lost. He became disqualified because he was too much making fun of other speakers. His speech ran over time. But recreating is something you take up from what is happening. In one of the meetings, same thing happened. At that time, Big Boss, some season 1 or 2 was happening. One girl in the call was always disturbing, always asking questions. I just went to her and asked, is your name Gayatri? None of you laughed. No. If you had listened to this same question 4 years back, during Big Boss season number 1, you would have laughed like anything, because there was one girl called Gayatri in the Big Boss season who was making hell of a life of everyone in the Big Boss participation. So the challenge here, the why I'm saying this is, recreation has a challenge. You should be in line with the current events. You cannot recreate something that happened 4 years ago. Something just like, as I said, I just pulled in DTM Thomas because he had delivered it just 10 minutes before. You are able to connect with my joke. So recreate is a very, very successful method with cautious approach. Of course, then comes the popular shakers and movers. You know, these two personalities. It's nothing but body language. Nothing like body language. Humor, body language are born together. So you apply body language as it suits with your speech. Try. I'll also tell you after this slide and next slide, I'll tell you how to identify opportunities. See, in one of my Rava dosa speech, I ended the speech like this. I was trying to make dosa at home where nobody was there. So I just laid out the tawa and applied dosa. And suddenly in the Asianet channel, they had started the movie Mani Chitra Taru. I don't know how many of you have seen it. It is the original version of Chandramukhi. It was going on. The climax, Shobana was dancing. She'll be a Tamil singer, unlike this lady here, who is a Telugu. She's a Tamil singer. The climax song will go like this. She'll be longing to meet her lover who was missing. She'll say, "Oru murai vandu partaya." It's a song. Meaning is, did you ever come and see me at least once? So the movie will go on. Fantastic. Malayalam movies are so realistic. In the end, they will try to burn the effigy of the hero. It was so realistic that I could smell the burning of the effigy. Movie is over. Still, I'm smelling the burning smell. Oh my God, what happened to my dosa in the kitchen? I went there. The dosa and the tawa had become close friends. And dosa looked at me and said, "Or murai vandu partaya." Gentlemen, I'm telling you, when I delivered this, it was in my advanced level silver speech, entertaining speaker. The moment I finished my speech, I was sure I'm going to be the best speaker. Obviously, I wasn't one of the best speaker, because that is where connecting, recreating, body language. In fact, I was standing like this, I am dancing. So that got carried away so much that it gave me not just edge, kilometers over my other contestants or other speakers. So body language, if you deliver this, I've coached, with utmost humility, I coached a couple of district level, division level winners. I used to insist on this. One of the gentlemen called Toastmaster Mohan Subramani was so hesitant. He's a very polite, very professional, very etiquette-based gentleman. Said, "Guru, I cannot do this." I said, "Mohan, if you don't do this, don't participate." Then I forced him to do a body language. He came up as division runner-up, second to me in a division contest. Such a power the body language has. So you need to identify where to use this. And the last one is my Talavar. I cannot give a speech without my Talavar. I don't have time to run that video. You can go and check in video in YouTube. During audio launch of Robo, he gives a speech about his neighbor coming and meeting him, and they are talking together. Both are of the same age, 60 plus. He is also 60 plus, his neighbor is 60 plus. "Arey Rajni, what are you doing nowadays?" He says, "I am doing a movie called Robo, and Aishwarya Rai is the heroine." The neighbor would keep quiet for a minute and ask, "Hero Aishwarya Rai, Kamala yaar, who is the hero?" Rajni will say this and become completely quiet. For next 1 minute, the entire hall was roaring. So it was both self-deprecation, a climax, and silence. He'll become completely silent. Gentlemen, see why I'm insisting on separate self-deprecation. Only those people who have got enormous self-confidence can deliver self-deprecation. Raji knows nobody can beat me, so he makes fun of himself. So more and more self-deprecation you are ready, that means more and more you are confident with yourself, and people will also enjoy that joke. So this silence joke combined with climax or self-deprecation take you nowhere. Suddenly you will deliver something and keep quiet. You will not say the rest of your joke. Don't explain the joke. Stop, keep quiet, people will laugh. So like this, now I hope you will understand the elements that I talked about. Self-deprecation, exaggerating something beyond belief, twisting it, giving a climax, recreate something, body language, and silence. These are the various elements of humor that you can make use of. Sometimes it's okay to give a takeaway message in your humorous speech also, because I have won my district level speech because I had people told me a powerful message on the end of my speech. And there were arguments about whether to give that message or not. There were a lot of discussions with my mentor and others, and we decided to go ahead with the takeaway. But it's not so. you may decide to give a takeaway or not, or just keep them laughing and come out of it. So we even had plans to keep everyone, when I leave the stage, I wanted to keep everyone laughing. And without even saying thank you to Toastmaster, I even applied a body language to Toastmaster, Contest Master, and came out. So you can plan this way. So this is, I said, planning, identifying the elements of humorous speech or humor and implementing them or embedding them into your speech. We even created, in my case, my mentor told me you want to create humor or create an expectation even before you start your speech. That's more important, is creating an image of yourself as a humorous person. My whole speech was about my NCC experience, how I went into NCC, how I was sarcastically commented by friends, and how I won and came up as a successful person. So my mentor said, when you are called on the stage, Guru, nobody knows what is your speech about, and timer will not start his time unless you deliver your first sentence. You walk to the stage using a military march past, salute the contestant, and shake hands like an army person. I did it, and people started laughing even before I started my speech, and timer didn't know what to do. He could not start counting my time. Then I turned, made an absolute left turn and made an attention, then kept quiet for some time, then delivered my speech. In the end, I also said, salute contest master, and came out. So we took advantage of things like this. In humorous speech, there are no rules. Whatever you do is allowed. So these kind of tricks for which you need an experienced mentor who can guide you. I owe more than 40% of my success to my mentor, late DTM Karthik Srinivasan. Based on his mentorship, my first prize winner, Alex Babu, became a successful stand-up comedian roaming around the world now, and I was the second runner-up. So imagine how much we have gained from a mentor. So please connect with your mentor. Have multiple mentors. My son was a mentor. When my opening joke happened, he rolled on the floor laughing and said, "Appa, this is fantastic." He was just 10 years old at that time. My opening goes like this, a self-flattery a bit. When I proposed to my wife long ago, she laughed, shocked, hesitated for a minute, then left off. After some time, she agreed, and we are 26 plus years married now. Recently, I asked her, out of all the feelings in the world, why were you shocked on that day? You could have slapped me, asked me to get out. Why were you shocked? He said, Guru, we know each other very well. I was feeling so much inferior about my looks and beauty. I thought only an idiot in this whole world would ever propose to me. And you proposed. The moment I delivered this, the reason I'm saying is, this is my opening part of my speech. Your opening part of the speech shall be crafted in such a way that within 15-20 seconds of your speech, there should be one laughter for sure. Let us go analytical now. Let us prepare the anatomy of our speech. So my plan was to explain myself self-deprecating, like a student, skinny, then opportunity, and I take up that opportunity, achieve success. This was the simple theme of my speech. And I prepared the speech and not a humorous speech. Then me and my mentor sat down and went with a detailed analysis of how my speech shall look like. There'll be an opening with a joke within 30 seconds. A context set to understand that it's all about me being very thin and puny, being ridiculed by all my friends. Then explain how this is impacting my general life, my so-called romantic life in my youth, etc., etc. Then what was an opportunity that came up and how I got involved. So many jokes in there. Then a final challenge where people ridiculed me. I went there and won and came back. Then I gave a small moral that was not necessary. So we prepared like this, the context of the speech, and I created my script and sat and started noting down. I expect a laughter here because a laughter takes 5 to 10 seconds, for at minimum 5 seconds. So your timing of your speech shall include a cushion for 10 seconds laughter at least 5 to 6 times in your speech. Otherwise, you would have prepared a 7-minute speech. People laugh for 1.5 minutes in your speech. That's all. You can never finish your speech. Timer would be already flashing his red very happily. So here and there, I mark a laughter symbol here, a laughter symbol here, a laughter symbol here. Someplace I'll say body language, some notes I used to make in my speech script, and expect a laughter here. Show your right hand, show your left hand, smile, look up, look down, everything we would note down. Like this, we prepared, and we again compared it with my mentor. He said, add it over there, change the sentence, introduce a triad instead of saying it bluntly. No romance, no recognition, no repertoire. I was so dreadful and dreadful or something like that. I suddenly I forgot. It becomes such a successful, and for this word turning point, the title of the speech, we had a body language called turning point. Every time I would say turning point. In the end, I would say turning point, and turning point came back to the same place. That is the end of the final humor in my speech. Like this, we crafted the speech, para by para, line by line. Every sentence was recognized for availability of humor or non-availability of humor, then built on top of it. Then comes practice. Practice with your mentor any number of times. Practice before a mirror. Practice before a mirror. This side. Sorry, this side. Practice with all known friends or relatives, or practice with anybody and everybody. You don't care. Even an empty room, you can go and practice. Practice, practice, practice. On the day of delivery, you should not feel your speech. You just deliver your speech, because it will happen. Whatever you planned will happen. Your practice preparation was perfect. This is the one. Then on the day, go to the stage. You are ready. Everything is ready. You've already seen it all. You have set up your image. Like I said in my previous sessions, training sessions, on the D day, what you should do? You do all the things that you need to do on the D day. Be ready. When the name is called, go casually perform. Have a nice smile. Enjoy your session. Come back. Immediately go to your mentor. One suggestion: go to your mentor immediately if he is present, or keep one person as an evaluator on the speech and ask him to immediately do it. Most probably, your friends would tell you you are winning or you are not winning bluntly. At least in Toastmasters, they are open and frank. So this is the plan, my dear friends. Before I conclude, I once again show you some elements of humor that you need to understand. Creating an anatomy of your humorous speech, identifying humorous spots and marking them in your script. Practice with everyone, go and perform. I am open for any questions that you may have. I hope I have some time. Taima, do I have some time to get questions?
Yes, TTM Guru Prasad. We have still 5 more minutes.
Or to the audience, I don't know whether I was too fast, but this is normally I present this as a 1 hour.
Hi Guru, I am Venkat here.
Please go ahead.
I am Venkat here.
Venkat, please show me your face.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Good. According to me, it's a comedy. I wrote 2 sentences about my personal incident. For my wife, it's not a comedy. My sister's kid is saying that it's not a comedy. Everybody is criticizing about that. But definitely, that is a comedy only, according to me. What the spectators will think, the speaker.
All the husbands are comedians before their wives. I hope all the married people here will agree. So,
Agree.
See how many people. Yeah. Gentlemen, okay, I did this intentionally. This is what I meant by recreate. I just took a cue from Venkatesan's message and immediately delivered a small joke here. So Venkatesan, yes, go through all those serious incidents that you came across while discussing with your wife, while discussing with your sister or parents or someone. Again, think it over. You'll still find a small moment of joke over there. Blow it up. That becomes a joke. A joke is not, I mean, nobody creates a joke. A normal event twisted unbelievably becomes a joke. Is that clear, Venkatesan?
Okay. Thank you.
So, and I'm personally against wife bashing jokes because it has become a cliche now. Also, another suggestion I forgot to tell you. As you go from one level to other, this I already delivered in my pre-meeting sessions. Go from club level to area to division. Just try to modify some speech because the audience are going to be different. It happened with one of the VIT Institute of Technology, Vellore Institute of Technology winner in the division contest. He delivered the same speech, which went fantastic with all his college mates. But division contest, there were people ranging from college mates to senior citizens. People could not recognize many of these jokes because those were very common for the student's life. Same way I delivered a statement in my NCC speech, you would have seen it. I delivered that joke in VIT, nobody laughed because none of them were married. So like this, be prepared for every level. You may have to make small tweaks with consulting with your mentor. Sorry, Ranga, you wanted something.
See, generally I have noticed that I'm more spontaneous when I'm among a group of people. But the spontaneity is either making a pun of whatever they are saying or things like that. So I'm quick with that. But when I have to sit down and start writing it, that becomes a huge issue, because for me, the spontaneity is what has been running through my life. But sitting down and writing comedy is very difficult for me.
Yeah. Good point. But you're blessed. You're blessed. Being a spontaneous humorist is very, very difficult, because that requires a lot of experience, a lot of remembering things, and a lot of observing the world. You are a spontaneous humorist. That's good. My suggestion to you would be, in that case, your speech, you just think of something, open your mobile camera and deliver table topics on it. Select a topic, make a spontaneous humorous speech on it. Like this, you prepare 5 hours speech, 6 spontaneous humorous speeches of 1 minute, 1.5 minutes each. Then listen to all of them. Somewhere you will get a common theme out of all those 5 hour speeches, spontaneous humors. Connect them with a story. Then write a speech or write a theme. Then start adding all your spontaneous humors into planned humor. I mean, you're doing the reverse, actually. We all do planned humor first, and out of experience, many of us, if we are blessed enough, we become spontaneous humorists. The second point is, as Ranga rightly mentioned, be a spontaneous humorist throughout your life. That will help you in humorous speeches. I'm not saying that a reserved person cannot deliver a humorous speech, but it's better. It also helps your heart, helps your brain, helps your life. Being a humorist, that helps in humorous speech contest also. But for Ranga's question, the quick, easiest idea is deliver some 10 table topics on whatever humor that comes into your mind. Record them all. Create a fantastic speech.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't see much questions from any, women from the team, because I have a craving that not many women Toastmasters are participating in humorous speech contests. Very, very limited. Though I have seen those who have won are fantastic humorous Toastmasters, but not much are planning. I think they are a bit hesitant, or I don't know. Any questions from any of the women in this call?
I have ideas, but sometimes I find it difficult to structure it. I know structure is an important thing, but that is where I failed. But last time I came the division first runner-up.
We have your you are from Sri Lanka, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot her name. She made a humorous speech about grooming kids, and my God, I think she came first runner-up in where I lost in 2015. I forgot her name. She was a good friend. Now that our district is split, we lost touch. And there is one more lady who terrorized the contest master. I don't know how many of my old timers are here. She went to contest master, supposed to deliver the name, title name, and stand there silently. Our Arun from our Tower Ananagar Toastmasters Club is the contest master. She always used to go near him and ask him a question. Look like this Chandramukhi and all, asking. He could neither laugh nor react because he's a contest master. And she won. I forgot her name. She gave a fantastic humorous speech. My suggestion to you, Sakuntala, is, as I said, don't try to build a humorous speech. Build a normal speech. 2-3 speeches you write. Find out which speech has more opportunity of humor and start adding jokes or humor into it. By that way, your structure of main speech will remain using the Toastmasters principles, and you are converting a normal speech into a humorous speech. That would be my suggestion. Don't try to write a humorous speech from scratch. We are not PG Woodhouses or crazy Mohans of the world. Maybe some of you are blessed with that talent. For others, please write a normal speech and add humor to it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Well, timer, I think I'm done.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your life with humor, and please come, let us contest and win. All the best to you. Thank you very much. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, DTM Group Prasad. Excellent speaking. Never ever listen to that. Now I move to my topic. I share my screen. See, our hero, our author, book author started the travel to party. He's already, I said that already I remember that in the our hero is get more money, more money. He is speaking of the one evening meeting. He is planning to move. He is and the wife also move up 11 o'clock, around the 11 o'clock. He is moving to her home. So he's having a small car. Now that car speed like around only for 90 kilometers. He is traveled to his wife also sleeping because it is 400 kilometers from the meeting to her home. So he is sleeping. He is journey from with the music. Suddenly, his opposite one truck is came. That big his speed is 140 kilometers speed, and the car and the truck is both are suddenly is crashing, and our hero Mr. Hall Elrod is a book author of the hero. He is a very big injury of the body, leg, and everything. Doctor said that if you are after 3 days operation continuously done by hero, our author, and doctors are doing that biggest operation, major operation, minor operation, everything done, but I will continue the after tabletop expression on the same. Now we come exiting the part of the meeting table topic session. Today, Toastmasters Saravan table topic master call the speaker randomly for all the speakers. He is a senior manager for leading automobile engineering company. He is our club VPPR and Toastmasters since 2019. Over to you, Toastmaster Saravanan.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. So let me share my screen. Please let me know whether you're able to see or not. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Saravanan, go ahead.
Okay, fine. Yeah, somebody has a question. Okay, fine. So let us move. Sorry, what is it?
No, nothing. Your face, the photograph is different than your face. Okay, carry on. That is the very end.
Thank you. So, coming to the Toastmasters, coming to the table topics. So, what is this table topic sessions all about? It helps members as well as guests to develop their ability to organize their thoughts quickly and respond to an impromptu question or topic. Okay, the topics which I have today are situational, hypothetical, can be unconventional, and can throw you off guard as well. Please ensure that you attend this and don't seclude yourself in any other room. Please be participative of this. And if you're wondering, India is 2:33 for 4, and we have just lost Kohli. So please don't look at your TV or mobile. And if you would like to be called, please let me know through private chat, as well as you please try to talk for 1 to 2 minutes. Are you ready for the table topics? Can we get into that? So the first topic, Dr. T.K. Sundaram, you find a book and begin to read only to discover that it is about your life. You get to the point that you are at now, but you don't have to turn the page knowing that you will not be able to change the events to come. So what you will do?
Dear Toastmaster, accept as it is. We have come along, and somebody has written my story. So I am happy. They have written about me. What all they have written? Let me digress, or let me actually see that. I will not seclude myself from the book. It is actually my story after all. So what has happened? As a young boy, I started up growing in a small village, educated engineering and did masters and did actually MBA and all those things. But all along, I have enjoyed life. I have traveled throughout India. I have landed in almost all the airports in India. Then I have risen to the level of group general manager, and I am today an expert on contract management as well as on metro systems. Metro system is to my life. That's what is written there. So why should I change the book? The book is actually nice. And now actually after working for so many years, nearly 50 years, I'm taking rest. But still people are calling me, and they have already filled me in some other project. which I may join if I'm good. But at the same time, life has taught me a lesson. And one day I asked my wife, actually, are you happy with me? You have lived with me for 50 years. I married her at the age of when she was 14. And after 50 years of marriage, I asked her, are you happy? And she is now actually well educated and she can interpret even the Mahabharata and all those things. And she told, "Sir, our life was like the acting of Shivaji Ganesan, but I wanted the acting like Surya. It was not there in our life." Do you, Toastmaster, do I have anything to answer on this? To you, over to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. P.K. Sundaram. So let me share my screen and we'll go to the next topic. So the next topic, Toastmaster Shankar, how do you think your life would change if you did not need to sleep? What would you do with your extra time?
Thank you, Saravanan. I think it was a fantastic topic. What I'll do that, even I was thinking that now the 24 hours, probably the active hours are working probably around 15 hours. I was thinking that it is not enough. Thankfully, if you are giving for that time, probably I will, currently I'm doing with the data science course. Probably now I'm short running of time. I will make use of that time more productively because the data science, we need more thing to learn and more thing to understand and many things to study. That is the one thing which I would like to do that. And the next very important thing I would like to do about now that DTM Guru Prasad very well said about, or now it is a contest time for humorous contest and for evaluation contest. Probably I will use most of my time to create, I think he was telling about 3 different topics, 3 different scripts, but I would like to write at least a 5 script to understand which script are coming very well. Probably I will go with more time with the DTM Guru Prasad and asking me to how to inject some of the humor, because I know that he is the one of the champion in humorous speak. So this these 2 things I will start using with my rest of the time. One, it is the data science, and another it is that to write the script about the humorous contest as well as for evaluation contest. Thank you, Saravanan.
Amazing. Amazing ideas. You have a lot of ideas, good ideas. Thank you, Toastmaster Shankar. So let us go to the next topic. Toastmaster Venkatesan, if your life were to be taken as a movie, who would you cast to play your role?
Thank you for the nice topic, Toastmaster Saravanan. According to me, my father is a hero and mother is a heroine. I don't prefer any actors outside, like Superstar or Ulaganayagan or anyone else. Because of my parents, I'm in this position. Because of they suffered a lot in the early years of our life. They struggled to bring 4 kids to provide a very good education and the needy things to do their daughters and son. My father struggled a lot. Even my mother, as a housewife, she will control the family. My father used to give the salary, monthly salary, and she will run the family. Like we used to buy a uniform from my elementary school level once in a year. My father used to tell me that till 9th standard, I used to ask him, "Oh, Daddy, I want to wear full pant, like the khaki pant, full cotton pant I would like to wear because my friends are wearing like that." You used to tell me that where I studied in the school is till 9th standard, we had to sit in the floor only. Only the 10th, you have to sit in the chair and table. Wooden chair and table will be there. He used to advise me in a polite manner, "Son, my dear son, you cannot wear off shorts after 10th or 11th or 12th. In future, you have to wear only pant till college and postgraduate, and even in the job also, you cannot wear a vesti. The way he was convincing me is something tremendous. Now I realize that. But I cannot say all these things to my sister's kids. They are buying through online just like that. Jockey offer is there, August 15th offer is there. They're spending money just like that. But the difference is between how we have grown like this, how they are going, because our basic salary is something else, but their basic salary is 5 digits. That's why they're thinking like that. That is why in the life, you cannot take actors or cine actors as a hero, because recently we have come across so many cases. They're not paying taxes for Rolls Royce. 3 superheroes. They used to act in the movie as superhero, real hero, but not a real hero. Thank you for a nice topic, Toastmaster Saravanan.
Brilliant. Toastmaster Venkatesan, very well done. So we'll move to the next topic. Toastmaster Mohanasundram. What would you do if a time traveler told you that you will become president of US 10 years from now? Toastmasters Mohanasundram.
I think thank you, table topic master. And so, if a time traveler told me that I would be a president of US, means I will put a lot of I will make a lot of laws again in the favor of Indians, and so come and work here, and so come and work here, and come and sorry, table talk master. Over to table talk master.
No issues. Actually, we would like you to be the POTUS or like president of US, because you will enable all the H1 visas, everything. Well done. Thank you. We move on to the next topic. Toastmaster Shakuntala. You are stranded on an island and have 3 things in your backpack. What 3 items do you want to find?
Good evening, everyone. First thing what I want to find is mobile phone, because I don't think without that it become like another finger, because it becomes an inseparable thing. Because I'm sure everyone has a phone with you all, and at least if nothing is there, at least I can connect with Medley Toastmasters and have the meetings. So that is another point. And I'm a vivid reader. I love to read books. So definitely I need a lot of books. In that case, if that island, I hope I can find something to eat. And I will definitely enjoy the time. That secluded in an island, that makes me, it is like I own the whole island. It is like so that my mom won't ask me, come and do this work, that was without any nagging. So I think definitely I'll enjoy. But as long as I have the phone and the books, I think I feel like I'm connected. So I don't bother about. Actually, I always dream about going somewhere, having this kind of holidays or vacation, because sometimes it is totally sometimes boring seeing the same faces and the same kind of conversations. I really like to be alone that way, because I believe I don't give enough time to look at myself, about my happiness. If you ask me what's your favorite color, I don't know. Most of the time I'm a housewife, so most of the time when even somebody asks, I do not, that is what I do. I say I do nothing. But literally I'm a chef, I'm a telephone operator, I'm a secretary, all kind of jobs I do. So for a change, I definitely love to be somewhere in the island and enjoy the time. But you have to make sure there is no reptile kind of snakes or anything in that forest. Even lion comes, I don't mind. I can be friend, but I'm so scared of snakes. Even in my dream, I always, when somebody send me a photo or something as a snake, I always delete that. So kind of a phobia. So make sure Toastmasters, table topic master Saronan, find me a forest without snakes. Over to you, table topic master.
Excellent. Your wish is granted. Okay, so we move on to the next table topic. This I will dedicate to one of our guests who has joined today. What would you do with the ability to become invisible for a day? Toastmaster or to be Toastmaster Om Kumar? Can you attempt this?
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. So, what would I do if I go invisible for a day? So, there are many good things that I can do. So, like trying to do some good things which I cannot do being visible. So, and also trying to help some poor people. And there are many other things that I can do. So, being invisible, I can definitely take some rest from my wife for a day. And being invisible, I can roam around where I cannot do right now because I need to take permission from my wife every day. So, over to you, table topic master.
Fabulous. Thank you. You are taking a cue from those humorous topics, right? Which DTM Guru has mentioned. Okay, good. So we move on to the next topic. Let me share my screen. So let us see this. What would you do if there happened to be an alien invasion on Earth? Okay. Toastmaster Uday, what would you do?
Yeah, good evening, Toastmaster. So I have seen so many alien movies, so it would be really terrific because from that I have never had any nice experience except one or two movies. So I hope that it would not happen in such a way that probably we may just make a pact or something so that we can just travel here and then we can just exchange our places. Though that can happen. So that would be very nice. But other than that, I'm not able to imagine. So what would happen in the way the movies have been portrayed that they would just take complete invasion. They would just try to just demolish the entire people and take over our land. So that would be really very awkward. So that is something that should never happen. So other than that, probably I've really wondered because so many books and other articles, it states that there might be in our galaxy, probably there might be aliens who can be much advanced than what we are now. So I'm very eager, probably if anything that could just happen, probably, what we would be in after probably a centuries later, we could just gain those knowledge if they are much advanced, with effortlessly, we may be able to get it. So that is something that I would be looking at. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Uday. I wish I would have given that President of US topic to you on the alien invasion. Okay, so let us move to the next topic. We will have one more after this. Okay. What if everyone on Earth jumped at once? What do you think, guest Yogesh Kumar Venkatesan, what will happen if everybody on Earth jumped at once?
Thank you for the opportunity. Hope I am audible. Right, thanks, and good evening, Toastmasters and guests. So the first thing that would come up to my mind about everyone jumping on the same time is that the vibration that could, go across the earth, and what that the resultant, flow of water out from the rivers and flowing onto the various residential areas. So that could be a major panic situation. So I would suggest, that we come up with life-saving boats and we start spending time on the boats just in case, on the day if everyone is going to be jumping together on the same time. So this is what is my weird imagination is all about at this point. Thanks, over to you.
Interesting. Thanks, Yogesh Kumar. So this is the last topic, and let me share my screen. Who will be the luckiest person to get into this? Okay. I think the luckiest person is guest Yogaraja Jayvel. Guest Yogaraja, if you could choose one book to be mandatory for all in the world to read, which one would that be? Guest Yogaraja Jayvel. Do we have Yogaraja? Or otherwise I can give to somebody else, maybe a role player.
No, Yogaraja doesn't seem to be in the list.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Is there anybody who would like to volunteer for this? Because all the guests and everybody are covered, I guess. It is only the role players who are left out. Or otherwise, can I call somebody? Okay, fine. I will take that opportunity. Toastmasters Sundaresan.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. One book which can be mandatory. I think it can be a book which says only love, love, love for mankind. The need of the hour is nothing but kind words and not rudeness. That harmony and unity, everything blossoms from love. That one book our mankind have to read in any language, in any way, but with the theme of love, so that love will spread, rather it will flood within our heart, and tolerance will be spread. At the end of the day, we all will be united as one human kind, mankind. And we have to celebrate on that day, celebrate humanity, that words will become true with the word love only. Without love, we cannot achieve that celebrate humanity. Love is the mantra and it's a need of the hour. Over to table topic master.
Awesome. Thank you, Toastmasters Sundaresan. With this, we have come to the end of the table topic session. But before handing it over to the TMOD, I would like to call the timer to ask who are all the qualified table topic speakers.
The qualified speakers are Dr. T.K. Sutaram, then Toastmaster Shankar, guest Toastmaster Shaguntala, guest Om Kumar, Toastmaster Uday, guest Yogesh Kumar, and Toastmaster Sundaresan. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, timer. With this, we have come to the end of the proceedings. For as far as table topics is concerned, I would like to hand it over to that Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Kapi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saravanan. Excellent table topic session. Now I have to share. See, as our executive marketing executive, our marketing executives go to met the hospital. He met so many operation happen. Doctor said that you are not a single walk within 2 or 3 years. After that, maybe God grace if you are walk. But our hero Hall Elrod tried. He became within 6 or 7 months. He is normal, back to the normal state. He's go to join another MNC company. He got the good salary. Again, he's a second version 2, Incident 2, same like that. He got the biggest company, MNC company. That time is at that time another person, another company sales executives came to me. How we are? Your age is 23, 24. How we are reached that kind of levels? He showed that he is a mentor for the that people, that sales executive, so that he planned to do the another book. Is the first book of the author name is Taking the Life Head On. He is the first book. It is an excellent book. It is a first that time Amazon is a top 10 book actually. Year of 2007. That time is a market. US market is a crash. All ITs and petrochemical, every company is a crash. So that he got the salary also 50% reduced. So he already is a very biggest man. He met the accident. He got the another job. That time also 6,000 sales executive. In the same 1 year, he is reached within top 30 members, 30 sales executive 30. Now next year he is a top 10 actually. That time is a 2007. The 2007 he met the economics crisis. Now come to the next session.
Mr. T.M. Modi.
Yeah. Thank you, friends. Now I can 1 second. Now please join with inviting DTM Jacob for the evaluation session.
Mr. T.M. Modi, I have a request.
Yes.
Shall we run the polls before starting the evaluation? Because I was able to share the polls.
Yeah, please.
I'm sharing the poll for the best speaker right now.
Yeah.
We are done with best speaker. Now I am running the poll for the best table topic. We still have a few votes to be polled.
Yeah, completed. Everyone completed.
No, we still have a few votes to be polled. Are you getting the screen, team? I still have a few votes to be polled. Anyway, considering this, people are polling very slowly, I believe. Okay, I am closing the poll.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Toastmasters. Now, please join inviting. Okay, sorry. Some technical glitch there is the came. Please join inviting the DTM Jagger about the evaluation session. DTM Jagger. Sir, you are in mute. Sir, you are in mute. Sir, DTM Jagger, sir. Okay. Good.
Sorry for that. We will now go on to the evaluation session now. And we will start the evaluation of the speakers. The first speaker was DTM Thomas Abraham on researching and presenting. The speech, of course, about the beard will now be evaluated by Toastmaster Sundaresan Subramaniam. Toastmaster Sundaresan Subramaniam has a very impressive profile. He is a Toastmaster since 2002, having mentored 3 clubs and also several Toastmasters, being a coordinator for a Gavel club and also starting an exclusive club for the ladies, the Indian ladies. He has taken part as a contestant in the division contests. He is also a judge in both the division and district teams. He is now, of course, a dual member of the District 116 and District 120, and of course, a member of Medley 2. What is important, according to him, he says Toastmasters is a learning platform. There are no exams. There are no annual appraisals. And his hobbies, of course, he's got an old hobby of collecting quotes. He's got a new hobby of story writing. His passion being a Gavel Club coordinator role. May I call upon Toastmaster Sundaresan to give the evaluation of the speech of DTM Abraham Thomas.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Jacob, for the speech delivered by DTM Thomas. I'll be doing the evaluation speech. To start with the purpose, certainly Toastmaster Thomas, you have aligned your speech with the purpose, that well organized and well researched. These are the two keywords. And the third is basic research. Seeing the title Beard, I was wondering what research you are going to do in that topic. Certainly, you have sincerely spent some time. And I have to appreciate one thing. In online meetings, I used to say people forget what the prop. But today, in your speech title Beard, you have brought that and you have displayed your prop also. I appreciate for that especially. And coming to the speech content, there was a lot of humor because it's a way of telling the style. You selected the humor part, which was very, very friendly, and it was easy for us to understand, to run with you also. And especially you brought the character, that beard and nail, and later the history of it. Greece, 1920, and the razors, and certainly like an industrial revolution, I can say this is a technological revolution. We had that disposable razors. I know how easy it was for bachelors for when they are pretty busy in their office. And you really like that word, that wisdom comes from the beard flowing, and you mentioned Rabindranath Tagore for that. You could have mentioned our Prime Minister also now for this one, for this particular one, and you brought the metaphor gardener, which was relevant to your topic. Moving to this speech delivery, your expressions were very friendly and your gestures were amazing. Having said all these things, in the scale of good, better, best, for the sake of best, I do have two suggestions, sir. The first suggestion goes with, you had a lot of punchlines in that humorous speech. You could have given a little bit pass before telling that punchline, because we were running with you, still we couldn't keep the pace with you because the speech was your baby. So you are transferring that baby to us, and we will certainly, we understood the topic, but little pass would have done that magic. And slowing down, little bit slow down in your speech might have reached the audience, and certainly we enjoyed the speech. It was the selection of that one. The purpose was solved by your speech, and it was certainly aligned with the research topic. So overall, it was nice. Wish to hear more humorous speeches from you, sir. Over to General Evaluator Jacob.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sundaresan. That was a wonderful evaluation of a wonderful speech. What is important of Toastmaster Sundaresan is that he talks of the theme, morning magic. And he says it is walking around the building complex in Chennai, and that was the morning magic those days before, he says. But nowadays, he says, walking inside the flat with raindrops falling in the balcony is again a morning magic. Getting up fresh is what he feels with the morning magic. Thank you, Toastmaster Sundaresan, for this wonderful evaluation. The second speaker was Toastmaster Raghunath Mishra, who spoke on a wonderful speech, Naak Behti Hai. His speech will now be evaluated by Toastmaster Atishay. Toastmaster Atishay tells that he likes Toastmasters because it gives a platform to meet people who love public speaking as much as he does on improving his own skills. Regarding the theme, morning magic, he says it reminds him of the morning sunrise seen in the mountains. The sun is a relief from the chilly nights, and the scenic beauty of the glaciers and the green valleys is a treat for the eyes. Toastmaster Atishay works as a data scientist at Viasat in Chennai. May I call upon Toastmaster Atishay to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Raghunath Mishra. Over to Toastmaster Atishay.
Thank you, General Evaluator Jacob. Before I begin, could I please request everyone who's not speaking to mute themselves? Thank you. Toastmaster Raghunath Mishra, my target speaker for today, took us through his career journey and how he went against the conventional Indian advice of switching jobs every 3 years or so in order to progress in their career. A few things about his speech clearly stood out. Number one, He began the speech with a tinge of self-deprecative humor, the gap in his communication skills, and the translation for naak behti hai being considered as nose is flowing. This also opened a loop in the audience's mind, which he closed towards the end of the speech, where he actually showed us that he finally understood the correct translation for that Hindi phrase. The second point of commendation in this speech would be Toastmaster Raghunath's confidence and his preparedness when he was delivering the speech. Little to no stuttering, no visible nervousness and fiddling around. Well planned, well executed speech, and it showed because it did not look like he was reading from a prepared script, but the facts, the words that needed to come out of his mouth were already in his mind. Now, there is one major point of recommendation from my end as an evaluator, and this pertains to the purpose of the speech as specified in the manual. The project manual requires that the Toastmaster deliver a social speech, which could be an eulogy, an acceptance speech, or a speech to honor an individual or an organization. One of these four. In my opinion, there's a significant difference between what we saw the Toastmaster deliver today and what was expected of the project. There's a gap between these two that needs to be filled. Toastmaster Raghunath's speech today was a recollection of incidents that he had experienced in his career and that led to him being honored at his company. The speech went over the story behind how all of this worked out and how he achieved all of this through his 15 years of service. However, the project manual was expecting an acceptance speech. An acceptance speech would be where the Toastmaster actually delivered the speech from the perspective of imagining his audience to be people from his company, his family, and anyone else who was present at that specific function where he was being honored. A few ways that the Toastmaster could restructure the speech to align more closely with the project objectives would be: one, imagine yourself actually delivering that speech on the day of the event. Two, clearly mention the award or the recognition that you're receiving and follow it up with customary thanks to your colleagues, your family, or everyone else who made it possible. To summarize, great preparation, good content, good storyline. Just one point of improvement, and that would be to restructure the speech so that it actually meets the project's objectives and classifies as an acceptance speech. Look forward to listening to you soon, Toastmaster Raghunath, and thank you. Back to you, the general evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Atishay, for a wonderful evaluation of the speech of Toastmaster Raghunath, who showed tinges of the morning magic. The third speaker was Toastmaster Raghunath Nair, who again spoke on engaging humor. His speech will now be evaluated by Toastmaster Surya. Toastmaster Surya works as a HR in a telecom company in Chennai. His views about Toastmasters is an organization that it's people who gave him the warmth and motivation. It's interesting to note that his hobbies are running and listening to FM. Running, a very difficult hobby of late. May I call upon Toastmaster Surya now to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Raghunath Nair. Over to Toastmaster over to Toastmaster Surya.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Am I audible? Yeah. Okay. Androgenetic alopecia. It's not word of the day. It's the scientific name of hair loss. Don't worry, Toastmaster Raghunath Nair. Nearly 46% of male in India have this problem, and it is set to increase in next decade. Soon, one day, we will become dominant. Don't worry. Few things that I liked about your speech was, as our DTM Guru Prasad said in his education session, you used one of the best style to bring humor in your speech. That was self-deprecative style, wherein in a way you also met the project objectives by slowly explaining your
personal background and met the objectives perfectly by indirectly explaining about yourself, right from your teenage till the current position that you are holding in this. The second thing that I liked is I felt you appear to be much comfortable throughout your speech, as it was about yourself, of course. And I, as a listener, was completely able to get engaged in your speech. So that's another thing. I have only one recommendation to you, which is about the vocal variety. I thought you would have brought a lot of vocal variety to your speech. I felt when I was listening, your voice was monotonous, and throughout, the pitch was actually flat throughout till the end, beginning till the end. Just for an example, I could quote when you explained about the types of baldness. Maybe for an example, you could have said like there are two types of baldness. One is like Sanat Jaisurya. The other one is like Virinder Sheva. I like Sanat Jaisurya. Maybe that could have brought in a lot more humor in your speech. All the best to your upcoming speeches. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Surya, for the wonderful evaluation. May I call upon, I think, DTM Guru Prasad. May I ask the timer to give a report of all the qualified evaluators?
Sure, General Evaluator. Let me share my screen now.
No timer. This is just to give the qualified for running the poll.
All are qualified.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Mr. G, with your permission, shall I launch the poll?
Yes, I wanted to mention that. Continuing further, can I, sorry.
Still only 84% done. Members, could you please poll immediately? We still require 16% of polls to be done. Anyway, I'm closing the poll now. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Guru Prasad, for the polling. Now I would like to call the reports from my team. The first report I would request from Toastmaster Aishwarya as far as the timer is concerned.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Let me share my screen. Hope it's visible now. DTM Thomas T. Abraham took 7 minutes 25 seconds. TM Raghunath Mishra took 4 minutes 1 second. TM Raghunath C. Nair took 6 minutes 30 seconds. Dr. TK Sundaram took 2 minutes 1 second. Toastmaster Shankar took 1 minute 37 seconds. Toastmaster Venkateshan took 2 minutes 45 seconds. Toastmaster Mohana Sundaram took 45 seconds. Guest TM Shakuntala took 2 minutes 4 seconds. Guest Om Kumar took 1 minute. TM Uday took 1 minute 10 seconds. Guest Yogesh Kumar took 1 minute. Toastmaster Sundareshan took 1 minute 10 seconds. Toastmaster Sundareshan took 2 minutes 50 seconds. Toastmaster Atishay took 3 minutes 6 seconds. Toastmaster Surya took 2 minutes 30 seconds. That's all from me. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Aishwarya, for the timers report. It was technologically driven, I must say. I would now call upon Toastmaster Dinesh Shekhar to give his report, the R counter.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Unlike timer's report, my report will be a little bit of paper. It's not technologically driven, but still in the prepared speech section, DTM Thomas Abraham had one repetitive word, which is show off. And the second speaker, Toastmaster Raghunath Mishra, had the filler word and once, and he used the repetitive word initial 2 times as a repetitive. And our last prepared speaker, Toastmaster Raghunath C, had only one pause, but his favorite word seems to be receding hairline. And in our table topic speeches, Dr. T.K. Sundaram used the filler word like once. Toastmaster Shankar used the word are 3+ time. Toastmaster Venkatesan used like once. Toastmaster Mohanasundaram used are 3+ time. Toastmaster Sakuntala used one filler word and she used one repetitive word. Guest Om Kumar used and 2 times. Toastmaster Uday used the 2 filler words probably and a couple of times. Guest Yogesh Kumar used so filler word once. Toastmaster Sundaresan had a clean speech in his table topics. Coming to the evaluation session, we are again opened by Toastmaster Sundaresan, who again gives a clean speech, which is a very secluded nature in itself. And second, Toastmaster Atishay, evaluator, he also gave a clean speech for today. Toastmaster Surya, our final evaluator, used the repetitive words your, and I could. And also he had the filler words are. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh Shekhar. That was really a morning magic from you. I would now call upon Toastmaster Venkat Seshan to give the grammarian report.
Thanks, General Evaluator. So we are back into the technology-driven report. So secluded, the word of the day was used by Raghunath Nair, prepared speaker 3, Saravanan, TT Master, TM Sakuntala, TT speaker, and at last TM Dinesh, who gave me a tough job to update this at the last moment as an hour counter. Morning Miracle, which is the theme of the day, was used frequently by DTM Jayakar, who is the general evaluator. Other than him, I found very less usage of the theme of the day. However, I would like to add some thoughts on that. So as per 5 AM Club 20-20-20 is the rule that is suggested in the first 1 hour of our day. 20 minutes of exercise, 20 minutes of spiritual or meditation, 20 minutes of reading books, new technologies, reading about new technologies, and no to mobile phones or responding to Medley Toastmasters Club WhatsApp messages. Good vocabs, as we all know and what we are experiencing in Medley Toastmasters, there are around more than 30 new words or usage of good words that we have come across. So I found it very difficult to write down all of them. I've tried to capture most of them. In specific, I wanted to highlight on some of the words which are more of literary sense, which were used by some of the speakers. So I just bolded them here: wicked, triumph, rebellion, bravo, and there are many more words used by all the speakers throughout the meeting today. So this is the first slide of the relevant vocabularies. I've given the synonyms or the meaning of some of the words here, like anachronist, overwhelmed, platonic, eulogize, self-deprecation, phobia, and many other words. So this is the list of words which I came across, which I have noted from different speakers all through today's speech. So I would like to share this report with everyone so that you could have an experience and understand the words, the vocabularies that have been used by our speakers today. The phrases which I came across, the new good phrases which I wanted to highlight: compensatory crop diversification, naak behti hai. So I would like to add that as well. Bald is the new black. Power of 4, plan, prepare, practice, and perform. Elements of humor, speech, it's me, too much, twist, recreate, shakers and movers, shh, and take away. That's all this report from my end. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Venkat Seshan, for the wonderful report of the grammarian, very exhaustive report. Now I come to that part where I have to give a report of the meeting. Shall we hold on for the polling DTM group, sir?
No, this is only for the tag players. So
Shall I
the
continue
role
or
players will
should
be
I
held later.
wait for this? Toastmaster of the day, shall I continue or should we?
You may continue, sir. Sorry, I clicked the button without realizing that you are still delayed.
Okay, I'm coming to the evaluation of the meeting as such. With due apologies due to the Zoom link. I came into the meeting only after perhaps the 3 parts of the agenda have been completed. So I will not be able to give that evaluation. It is for the Toastmaster of the day or the president to decide to give that part of the evaluation where I was not present. Whether the meeting started on time, whether Sergeant at Arms opened the meeting, whether the president had spoken, as well as the PMOD's presentation. However, I would like to say that the theme of the day was a very good theme selected. It was a very good theme selected. Morning Magic was that. But in fact, Morning Magic is a very great book. If perhaps people have not read that book, can read. Armon Abid Kichi, one person has written about it. It's about improving yourself and how to change yourself to become more productive. Very important was that he says that before 8 o'clock in the morning is the best time of the day to make yourself productive. It's one of the concepts of this morning magic. In fact, Toastmaster Venkatesh told about this 5 a.m. club, which is almost similar. The word of the day was given by the grammarian, which is actually a good practice, not followed in many clubs because word of the day is generally put in the agenda, but here word of the day is decided by the grammarian, is the right practice practiced by Medley. And secluded is a very nice word. It's a very good word to be used in our communication, and inserting this in all our communication in this meeting was very challenging. The highlight of this meeting was the training session by DTM Guru Prasad. A person, the Toastmaster who's known for humor himself, gave a lot of sharing experiences about humor. Very important aspects that he explained was about self-deprecating, exaggerate. He spoke about something called climax, body language. He said you should recreate. He also said about twisting and gave some real takeaways. We really felt secluded by the absence of humor in all of us. And a great chance for us to understand morning magic from DTM Guru, I would say. Table topics by Toastmaster Saravanan was excellently done. He definitely took care of a lot of guests and gave them opportunities for them to speak on table topics. And that's a very important trend. And Medley has done this in a very important way. About a few points I just want to say about this meeting, though this meeting is of a very high standard. Some challenges generally are faced. For example, agenda itself was a very difficult one. It was very challenging to prepare the agenda. Yes, generally in all clubs, speakers drop out in the last minute. Agenda needs to have a change or you cannot finalize an agenda. This was how it looked in this particular meeting. But kudos to the VP Education who was able to somehow see to it that we could bring out a good number of speakers into the meeting. The best speaking slots came out today. Another important thing in meetings, generally, particularly Zoom meeting, is that the participants suddenly start reducing. This is also a challenge that we see. in all, I must say that it was a wonderful meeting, well done for a Zoom meeting. Of course, we are probably going to go into room meetings from Zoom meetings. Then I think some more aspects which the general evaluator would like to do would also be able to be highlighted by me in such a case. Over to Toastmaster of the day. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DTM Jayakar. Let me discuss about our magic morning. See, our hero is facing the very depth, having we purchased 40 lakhs home, so his home is debt is there, the economy is also down. He's because he is not paying the bank loan also. He is a total after 6 months. He is total debt also 4,25,000. He feels he facing a two accident in his life. The first one is a car accident. Second one is an economic crisis. First one is a car accident. Everyone, friends and neighbors, relation, everyone came and how are you? How is so fine? Everyone is close, lovely, and encouraging themselves. But doctor also saying like that you are the good, you have to everyone motivated. But second accident, the economic crisis accident, no one helped. No one helped means economic also crisis. He also debt 4,25,000 is there. But that time he is facing a big problem. Suddenly his schoolmate came here. He know the problem of the hero Hall Elrod. He sent a small solution. If you follow, you can all the problems are solved. The problem was you can wake up early morning. That is called magic morning. You can wake up at 5 o'clock. He is normally wake up 8 o'clock. The friend said that you can wake up early means you can all the problems solved. I will return to you. He said that. But he followed with 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, little slightly they get normally all the debt also closely 30-20%, 30%, 20% close. After 6 months, if he wake up 5 o'clock, he said get good result. So if we get the year 5 o'clock, if I wake up 50% get result means he said that go to 4 o'clock AM. He said wake up. Now he says after that he settled all the life. That is called best solution for the changing life. He said wake up early morning. He is going to run for minimum 4 to 5 kilometers for every day. It is a real truth. It is a real happen. That is a book author. The book author having that Amazon having the book in available is there. Is a Kindle edition 150 rupees. If you are paperback, 310 rupees. Thank you. May I hand over to the stage back to the president. Thank you, everyone.
Mr. Tayamodi, shall I run the poll for the best role player?
Please, please.
Thank you. I'm closing the poll. I'm done with the poll. You may continue.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Karthikeyan. That was a well-conducted event. And I must appreciate that even despite all the troubles we faced in letting Mr. Jayakar in and the link getting misplaced and whatever, it was a well-run meeting. It was excellently conducted. And each session had its own beauty. You know, of course, I must say that I'm just waiting for the results, and they may I announce the results now. Yeah, the results are the best role player is TM Saravanan, the best tag player is TM Venkataseshan, best evaluator is TM Atishay, best TT is TM Sundaresan, and best speaker is DTM Thomas T. Abraham. Well done, winners. It's been a wonderful meeting, and I just have a couple of announcements to make. One is that, as I had mentioned earlier, I have sent out the flyer for renewals. So kindly take a look at it and renew your membership. at the earliest, number one. Number two, Medley contests will be held on September 25th in the humorous category and evaluations. The contest chair will make further announcements. That is number two. And now I would like to speak to some of our guests. So the guests I can see here are Yogesh Kumar. Guest Yogesh Kumar. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I am currently working with one of the back office operations in Chennai.
Okay.
And I have around 17 years of work experience. So with respect to my personal side, I'm married and have a kid. And this Toastmaster Club was one, kind of advice to me as part of my overall career development. So basically, I'm an introvert person. So what was suggested is that, I practice the speaking aspect of things, how to improve on my speaking skills. So one of the common jokes that my manager would make is that what the manager would speak in 1 hour, I would speak in 1 day. So that's what, the level of introvert I am. So hopefully I'll be able to get over the hurdle and start moving ahead.
Thank you. You have come to the right place, Yogesh Kumar. I'm sure you will find. Tell us your impressions about the meeting. What are the things that you liked, and where do you feel that we can make a difference?
It was overall a well-organized session. So me being a first timer, I never, kind of felt that I was out of place. I was able to follow whatever was happening. And the impromptu session was really helpful, giving that required room for the icebreaker and to mingle and be recognized by the other fellow Toastmasters. So that was such a nice gesture. Thanks to each one of you for that.
Very nice. And we hope to see you in the forthcoming weeks also.
Same here.
Okay, there are lots to learn from you as well as from us. So we do look forward to seeing you more often.
Thank you.
Okay. And next we move to guest Om Kumar. Is he there? Or guest Shakuntala? To say a few words.
Hi, I have been here from that Jagannathan's bread and butter session from 145. It was really wonderful. So not only that, the prepared speeches, all three prepared speeches and the table talk evaluation. I learned a lot from you all. And I love that the timing for it. You showed that Excel sheet. I really enjoyed. I also think of telling that in my club. Thank you so much. Overall, it's a wonderful time. I learned a lot, really.
Very nice. We welcome you more often. And of course, guest Om Kumar, soon to be our new latest member.
Hello, sir.
Any words?
So, as usual, the session was really good.
Yeah.
So in particular, the humorous speech learning session was like very inspiring. So I was always thinking about preparing myself to give the professional speeches, but that learning session has actually inspired to take up the humorous speech as well.
Excellent.
It was a very
so,
nice.
As soon as you become a member, you will be in line for the humorous speech. We'll add your name to it. Okay. Good. So that's it from my side. With the sound of the gavel, I would like to adjourn meeting number 639. So now let's open the floor. We are going to be having the contests coming in, and there's a lot of